Good morning, YouTube. My name is Amy's Bro. Today is June 1st, 2017. Of course, by the time I probably get done recording these videos, it'll be June 2nd. Hope y'all are doing well. Things are actually going pretty good here. We are going to be discussing, excuse me, not one, excuse me, but two news items, which I actually think are pretty important. The first video we're going to be doing, we are going to cover the official apology for 6th Stage from Broccoli. And then we're going to cover in the next video one of the trailers for Book of the Atlantic. Book of the Atlantic, and it features everybody's favorite Grim Reaper, Ronald Knox. Okay, if he's not your favorite, he's mine. Bite me. Anyway, so let's get on with it. We have a lot to cover, and we need to get started. So let's go. Okay, the first topic we are discussing is, in fact, the apology which Broccoli Goods Limited and the Udapre staff issued on the website. Now, you can go through the TV website to find it and read it, but we're going to use the direct link from Anime News Network, and I will provide the link in the description so you can read it. Here's what we got. So give me 1 second. Where are we? Okay, here we go. So I'm going to read this verbatim. Okay. It says here, the Utana Prinsama Magi Love Live 6th Stage event was held this past Saturday and Sunday at the MetLife Dome in, Tokorozawa, Saitama. The event drew huge crowds. Unfortunately, there were so many audience members scrambling to get inside at the same time on the first day that not everyone was able to enter before the event started. Some fans were apparently less than pleased about the situation. The Utana Prinsama franchise's official website posted an apology on Tuesday. Okay, I need to stop there. I need to stop there because think about something for me. You wait till Tuesday to post the apology. Tuesday. Huh? Like, maybe there was a reason that they could not post the apology that day or even the day after. That's acceptable. But why in the world do you wait till like 3 days after the fiasco happens and you pretty much cause a dumpster fire? Well, let's continue. As initially stated on the event website, staff began checking IDs and issuing wristbands at 10 a.m. This is Japan time now. In the order the visitors finished purchasing event goods. The staff had performed a simulation before the event that allowed everyone to enter this before the scheduled time of 4:30 p.m. So here's the situation, just from what we're reading here. It wasn't that the staff wasn't prepared because they actually did a simulation of what they were expecting. The problem is that there was too many people coming to the event. Now, my only thing about this is if you're going to, they call it the MetLife Dome, but the other name for it is the Seifu Punch Dome. If you're going to this building, which is actually smaller than the last one, which was Saitama Super, shouldn't you have said, okay, we know for a fact that we can only fit this many people in. So we need to sit there, we need to figure out, and you got to do this the night before, we have to figure out what in the hell we're going to do if we end up at a situation where there's more than capacity. And this is what ended up happening because we're going to continue. Let's see. However, a large number of people came shortly after the event's scheduled time on Saturday. Well, we know this. In order to expedite the process, the staff added more personnel to check IDs, so they were prepared for it. The staff did not want to start the event late because they were concerned about residents in the area of the MetLife Dome after the concert's end. Now, here's something that I thought was kind of interesting, because here's something I did not know until I just read this article. Noise ordinances prohibit excessive noise after 9 p.m. Again, this is Japan time. The staff reluctantly made the decision to start the event 30 minutes late at 5 p.m. in order to ensure that everyone, in order to ensure that there would be enough time to complete the entire program. In addition, the staff deemed it was impossible to change the program just before the event's start because there was a possibility that they could not ensure the safety of performers and production staff. Here's where I got a problem. I got a big problem. Okay. So, you had said you were going to have at least 4 hours. If you knew, and this, I'm talking to the folks over at Broccoli now. If you knew that noise ordinances prohibit excessive noise past 9 p.m. and you're supposed to try and run a 4-hour concert, I got an idea. Why not cancel day 1, do day 2, and then the people that got canceled on, you give them some type of consolation package. Because what you ended up doing is creating just a big mess. Now, maybe that would have created an even bigger mess. But let's think about this for a second. If you weren't... I'm going to read to you one of these parts again, because this is kind of interesting now. The staff reluctantly made the decision to start the event 30... No. In addition, the staff deemed it was impossible to change the program just before the event's start because there was a possibility they could not ensure the safety of performers and the production staff. That statement is mind-blowing. It was impossible to change the program just before the event start because there was a possibility they could not ensure the safety of performers and production staff. You know, when you read that, doesn't that almost make them seem Bush League? And think about this. It's not like you're in... It's not around anymore, but it's not like you're in the Uport Hall, which held 1,500. You just got done doing St. Thomas Super, which was what, 36.5, and this one was actually a little bit smaller. Like, what's going on here? Look, I'm going to do full disclosure. I wrote a self-indulgent birthday fic. I'm actually going to put the link to that in the description of this video. I want everybody to go read it, especially towards the very end of it, because oh my god, did I go off on Broccoli. I intentionally did. I made sure that everything I said towards the end was a direct reference to what happened at 6th Stage, because that was a dumpster fire. A dumpster fire that they created. Here, I know it's impossible to cancel the show and then say, well, we're just going to have these people come for day 2 because that causes an even bigger problem. I get that. But here's what I would have done. Okay? And this is just me. A, you don't try to fill the building to a capacity. Now that may make you debris seem like it's dying, and you don't want that impression. I get that. I wholeheartedly get that. You want the building to be packed. Not arguing that. Not in the least. But when you have a situation where you have to push the show back by a half hour, and then you were saying that there was no way to ensure the safety of the performers and the production staff, well, I got a better question. How about the people that are trying to come into the building? Because see, here's the thing that you have to understand. No matter what, I can sympathize in many respects with performers because they wanted to put on the best show possible, and quite possibly because of the 30-minute delay, they couldn't really do everything they wanted. Now, this does also defeat my argument of saying, why couldn't you have extended it 30 minutes? That I didn't know about the whole noise ordinance thing. So that I can understand. But I also know this, okay? Typically speaking, only one day is recorded. The day that is going to be recorded, I believe, is the May 27th show. Will be the 27th or 20th. One of the days will be, right? Essentially what you're doing is you're literally repeating the announcement that you made the day before. Which I should always think, I don't know why, but I always thought this. If you're going to do a multi-day show like this, shouldn't you have like more than one damn announcement? Like, if you want to have the movie announcement, okay, fine, whatever. But then shouldn't you have something else like, oh, I don't know, you could have waited and done like one of the game announcements. You could have waited, like, I think it was earlier that month, like at the beginning of the month, they announced the whole Amazing Aria Sweet Serenade thing. Couldn't you have done that there too, and done that maybe in day 2? Or if you were going to hold off and condense it to a one-day concert, couldn't you have done both announcements then? Now, maybe there was reasons. Maybe there's always reasons that they do the whole repeat announcement thing. Although it's even stupider because check this out. There were people on Facebook like spamming it when in reality that actually goes against like the code of ethics, I think, because there were people that have said when they've read like Twitter roundups that they thought that quote broke the code of the concert. So there is that to think about. Like here's the whole irony of that thing. There's a fan page that I'm aware of on Facebook that specifically said they would not post any updates from the concert until after day 2. And then you got people basically then you got fans legitimately running their mouth after day 1 about the whole movie thing. Like, couldn't you have waited? Like, it's not like you're fucking, and I'm not even A&N, but it's not like your Anime News Network, I guess that's maybe their excuse. Well, I'm not a professional reporter. Okay, fine. You're a fan. I get it. But still, even if I was a fan going, I would treat it like I was a reporter. And I would wait until everybody went for day 2 so that they could find out for themselves and not have it blown. Just saying. Because you kind of take the impact away when you already know after day 1. Now, to be honest, when I found out what the whole announcement was for the project, I was a little bummed. So, and I was like even more than bummed because that was the announcement that they did. Like, yay. Maybe they'll have more, and maybe hopefully some more positive stuff for Heavens is coming up. But anyway, I didn't actually finish reading this article, did I? Okay, so here, I'll just read this real quick. The staff repeated their apology to fans who were unable to see the first half of the program. They intend to hold careful discussions with related companies before holding future events. In light of the problems on the first day of the event staff posted a request to attendees on the official website. This was a TV website. The request asked audience members to arrive as early as possible, refrain from trading goods outside the seating area, and follow staff guidance to exit the event in an orderly fashion on Sunday. So, I'm just gonna say a little bit more about this whole thing, okay? And then we'll get ready to move on to the next story coming up. If this was the final live that they're planning, now maybe they'll do a 7 stage, and maybe when they do 7 stage, things will go a lot smoother. But if this was the last stage show for Udapre, I don't think it is. Because here was like the one thing. In all the spamming that everybody was doing on Facebook, nobody actually mentioned whether or not they said "see you again" at the end of the fucking concert. Nobody did. So you didn't. In all your "oh my god, they're doing a movie," did you find out they said "see you again," which would tell you whether or not they were doing a stage 7? No, you didn't do that. Why not? Since you wanted to leak everything else, why didn't you leak that? Well, we didn't want to tell you everything. Anyway, here's what's really going to suck though. If they do 7 stage next year and they do it in May, and they do it on the week of May 27th again, next year it's on a Sunday. Day 2 is going to suck. I'm not saying they're going to, but let's just say they did. Because if it's anything like this past year, it's going to really, be bad. But anyway, final thoughts real quick. Broccoli, you are a professional company. You and everybody who's associated with the production of this thing needs to pull your head out of your backside and get working on stage 7 and get working on what are we going to do to make sure that there's no gup anymore. What are we going to do? Well, figure it out. And when you figure it out, you come find me and you let me know what you did. Because truthfully, I'm going to say this, and this is going to be a bit of a self-indulgent thing, but I don't care at this point. I would hate to have to be the MC. Like if they said to me, "We want you to MC this past stage," and that happened, I would have found somebody on Broccoli staff, and I would have been up their hole so quick they wouldn't know what to do with themselves. But that's just me. So let me ask you this question, and I'm going to put the link in the description to the article. I'm also going to put a link in the description to the fic that I wrote, which involved blasting 6th stage. Do you accept Broccoli's apology for what happened, and what would you do to remedy the debacle so that it doesn't happen next year. On a personal note, what I would do is actually start the show earlier than you did. Especially 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Think about that. This is real quick. 4 o'clock in the afternoon they started the show, 4:30 rather, and they were supposed to, 5 o'clock they actually started, but they were supposed to start at 4:30. Why in the middle of the goddamn afternoon would you do it? If you know that there's a noise ordinance, why wouldn't you have pushed the time up earlier so you can get people to come earlier? Just saying. But maybe there's something that I don't know there. Anyway, you all have a good one, and I will see you actually in a couple minutes in the next video. Take care.